how to add images to WeVideo 2 different ways. From your notes, you were required to include an image of the organism that causes the disease and then something about the symptoms. Those are the only images you will find. You do not need to find all the images for your video. But I had to find the virus, and so I just searched yellow fever virus, and then I would go to Google Images, and this is the one that I thought was most interesting. You click on that to make it larger, and then you right click, or on the Chromebook, that's Alt click on your touchpad, and then you're going to save image as. You want to make sure it's a JPEG, and you will put that in your Google Drive. You cannot just copy and paste into WeVideo, even though you can do that in your notes. You can't do that in WeVideo. You have to actually add it to your Google Drive. Then in WeVideo, you go to My Media, you go to Import, you go to your Google Drive, and then you can search for it by name. And it was, I believe it was this JPEG, and it will add it up here. That was a different picture that I picked. That was the symptoms one. But anyway, you pick the image and you drag it to your video timeline. Now, the thing about this is that you have to line up your image length with the part of your voiceover where you're talking about that. So let's say this first part of my video or my audio, you have to make sure that your image matches your narration. So this is where the break is from when I'm talking about the symptoms. So I need to change the length of this so that it matches my narration. So when I get to the end of that, that's where my image about symptoms needs to stop. So I just move the playhead to where I need it to end, and then I click the scissors. And then once I've done that, I can come up here and I can either hit the garbage can or use my delete key. Now, in the next section, I'm going to talk a little bit more about the symptom of headache and why that's so dangerous. I don't have to come up with a picture of a headache from Google. I just needed Google's images for the specialized things that wouldn't be in WeVideo. Now I'm going to show you how to add an image from WeVideo. This will be by the star where it says Stock Media, and then you will just search here like you would search for an image in Google. You just put in the title and you can hit enter. And then I have lots of choices for headache. Okay, if I have an image that has a time in the upper right-hand corner, it's a video. If there's no time in the upper right-hand corner, it's just a still picture. So I could use a still picture or I could use a video clip. And you just drag that down to where it would match your narration. And you can see in my narration, here is where my next break is, and I would have listened to it to make sure. So that is where I need this next image to stop. So I just put the playhead where I want the image to cut. I hit the scissors, and then I can use the garbage can or my delete key. And you're going to do that for each section of your video until you have everything completed in terms of your images. That's how you add images both from uploading them and from finding them within WeVideo.